Welcome back to our staff series. So last time we talked about a few concepts how to utilize the staff for self-defense situations. In our first video we talked about a few concepts how to defend even against an animal, how to keep an animal at bay, right? If with that wild dog attacks you happen to have a staff. In Arizona we carry staffs because we hike a lot. So how to use those angles or to ward off an animal, how to position yourself properly, and how to keep them at bay, right? This way or this way. But we mainly focused on the self-defense aspect against an assailing subject. When this is a basic stance, we kind of forward with our energy, and our weight is more forward. So we talked about these type of strikes. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Then we talk about going in the opposite direction, 3, 4. So we talked about these patterns. Figure 8 here, deflect and strike, deflect and strike. We also talked about defending against horizontal strikes, so where we sink deeper. So our stance is obviously going to be more linear, almost like a horse stance, then bow stance, horse stance, bow stance, 3, 4. On the other side we're going to still stay, even though with this we'll have these options to step over to create distance, to create more distance between us and the opponent, but we're just going with a simple footwork at this point. 1, 2. So on the other side, 3, 4, 3, 4. So if you're not stepping out with your left foot is gonna have to, you're gonna have to raise the heel a little bit to allow for that rotation of your hips. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Foot coming from that side, or they going for a shin or knee, or even in the close to the groin area. What we're gonna be doing is, strike is coming, we're pinning it down, so the staff is going down into the ground. So pinning it down, and we're striking up. Or we can pin it down, strike low, strike high. So now we come to this position where we can strike this way as an uppercut, and then we extend more. But if the opponent is closer, we can come to a horse stance, or pretty close to a horse stance, depending on the opponent's height. If he's really short, you're gonna be deeper. If it's really tall, you're just gonna be lifting your staff. We also talked about, once we get here, we can attack in the circular motion. So it's a straight attack, but kind of circles here with the body dynamics. You wanna create distance, you go into a cat stance, and we attack. Cat stance, and we attack. Cat stance, and we attack. We talk about a concept of reaching. So if we are here, we come back, and the opponent is going quite far, we're going to do a long grip technique. And now we have this long grip, and we're going to slide over our arm, and now we're going to be slamming down. If the opponent is still there, what we're going to do is, now we are going in this direction, again circular, very similar to the other technique, except for the long grip, and we are attacking this way. Now we're going to be focusing on going on the outside of the opponent. So just like we can actually collide with your opponent's strike if it's coming from this way, and we kind of blocking it and hitting them. So we are blocking it, and we're pushing it down and then hitting, right? We can also use an alternative way to defend, which is quite frankly more, it's safer. It's safer for us to go on the outside or to pass the strike. However, it does require more footwork orientation and timing. If the strike is coming from this side and I want to take a step out in order for me to gain advantage with my angling, so I really have to be very angle-minded and you know, do a timely execution of the strike, of the technique. So if my opponent is coming from this side, I need to step out and block. Right? Step out and block. It's not done quite like that. I'm just breaking down the steps. First, step out and block. But in order to be more effective, you will do this move. It will all become one smooth move. So you would step out with that block already in the way. So you're already protecting yourself, right? Here, we're going on the outside. So the strike is coming from this side. It's coming towards me. What I gotta do is get real close to the staff and parry it so their staff is kind of sliding this way. But I gotta control it because the staff is gonna hit me here. It's gonna hit my hands if I'm not timing it properly. So what I want to do is just deflect it, start sliding. I disengage at the moment, staff go this way, and then I attack. Probably the best option for the attack would be I'm already here and then stop them, okay? So that's the more linear technique and probably more effective. So on the side and then stab. Parry, stab. Parry, stab. So now, depending on how much power you want to exert, you can go into parry and into this big movement where you're circling. But it's not necessary in this situation. It's all contextual. So if you're parrying, you're already here, you can lunge forward. You take just a further, like a shuffle step, and because you're trying to create a distance. And then you will strike the head, right? If the dummy is throwing a strike at me, this way towards me, I would step out and immediately go into a head strike. You can hit the eye, you can hit the whatever's in the way. Now, if I'm here, the head is right in front of me. If the strike is coming lower, I can hit them in the chest area. Similarly, so this is where we start changing footwork. So if we attack from the opposite side and we want to go on the outside, we can parry this way. It's a mirror of the previous technique, just on the other side, and then we attack again from here. So we ended up parrying, striking, and you can add 2 additional strikes here and here. Okay, so now we're going on this side, we are parrying here, striking, striking, striking. So as you can notice, we're using familiar techniques that we used before. Now, I can foresee a situation when the strike is coming this way and I'm not quite forward if I'm taking this step here and I need to use an emergency technique, I can parry it with that back strike and attack. Okay, that's using the techniques from the previous lesson. But we just introduced a new concepts here. So we're gonna be going with the footwork on the outside, parrying. We let it slide and bounce, and then we strike. Or we can, if we have time, we can do a more potent strike. All right, same technique that we introduced before. So you can either go from here straight into a strike, or you can go into this type of strike with a circling motion, or you can go into a deeper strike where you go into a cat stance, and then you drop it down. We are attempting a block against a low strike, and somebody's coming from that side, going for this knee with some type of a low strike move. What we're gonna do is, in this case, we're gonna pull back, we're gonna block a strike, send it that way, and then we're gonna strike up. Yeah, we are here, back, block, and up. So if we ended up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This is one move. 1, 2. 1, 2. So we are on the outside of the staff here. Strike. 1, 2. Somebody's going from that side for a knee, anything in the lower region. 2. Similarly, now we ended up on this side. Somebody's going for this knee, or shin, or whatever. We're going to be doing the same move on this side. 1, 2. Again, not from this angle. We ended up here. Somebody's coming from that side for our knee. We're going to be 1 and attacking on the outside. Now this leg is exposed. They're going for our knee, or a shin, or a thigh. Right? And then we can 3, 4, 3, 4. From here we can just, again, go with this stabbing motion. Right here, uppercut. So, as you can see, this is very kind of on the spot. You got to feel the energy and you got to react according to what's presented to you. So I just demonstrated a few strikes and it's very fluid. So that doesn't mean we can't do something else. If we are here, we move, we block. Well, we can go, if this is exposed, we can go for a low stab, right? Or we can go, we are here, here, and now we can, if the opponent moved away, this is where we can go into long strike to reach them. So again, it's about it's not about necessarily one set of moves that we're going to be repeating, but you can combine all these previous concepts that we talked about. Go with the easiest strike though, with the simplest technique. So if I'm moving here, I'm here, I can go into an uppercut. This kind of, as you step, this opportunity is presented because their staff is down there, because we moved it that way, and this is open. Now I'm here. Okay, so now if I hit them and I hit them and they moved back, now I can go on this side. And now I don't have to do a long grip technique. If they are very close to me, I can just go pressing down, similar to this type of a technique when it's the longer grip. If they are just like here, when they are here closer, we can give them this uppercut. If they are still within the range, striking range, kind of like where that bag is, if I hit them and they move back, I can go this way. Okay, now I have this 3, 4. In a scenario when they're going for this type of a thrust, or can be the abdomen or maybe overhead, and trying to hit a torso, right? How do we defend against this type of a linear strike? Again, we're using the parry. This is a universal concept. We're using a parry concept to put it in front of us. So now, this is a quick strike in an abdomen or in a chest area. So, so we are going to be reacting quickly. So we are going to be offlining. We're going to be putting a staff in front of us, so the staff slide. So here in this case you can actually use this type of a grip. Now since it's not an impact grip, it's not coming against us or from this side where it would just drop or knock a staff from our hands. This is a staff that's going this way, straight. So it doesn't require a lot of force to guide the staff. So even if we use this type of a grip, or we're just holding in with our fingertips, or even a little below our fingertips, so we allow for that slide. So the staff can slide here and not injure our knuckles or fingers or anything. But I honestly and personally, I wouldn't prefer that. I always like to grip, have a good grip on the staff. So in that case, I would just offline a little more, and the staff is going to meet here, but I'm just going to guide it outside a little bit. So as the staff slide it down here, I'm just going to make this little turn, little twist, and it's going this way. And then I'm going for this strike, and I'm going down and up, slamming on the top of the head, and then with an uppercut, I'm finishing the game. And now somebody wants to use a stab against maybe my lower region of my body, like a thigh or like a knee or whatever, more linear strike, okay? Because we already show how to defend against wide sweeping strikes. With more linear strike, so I'm going to move this foot here, and I'm going to block. Okay. So if it's coming from this side, from that side, I'm going to block. I'm going to send their staff that way. I'm going to step in, and then I'm going to stab their leg, their knee, whatever I can reach in the lower region of the body, their knee, the thigh, the groin, their foot, whatever I have here. Okay, so one, and I can do an uppercut. Okay, then I can do another one of these overhead, right? So they are going for my foot, moving, deflecting, stepping in, 2, 3, 4, and I'm again stabbing, grabbing that long grip, pressing down with that circular motion, going up, 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 and landing down on them. And again, I have this option here. If I turn this way, I can go like this, just offline and stab them, and from here we can go into these, actually back to our regular grip, middle grip. We go back to this. Or if we decide to stay at a long range, now we can actually again come this way and this way, and we go back to our regular range. And now this is what we took in talking footwork. So now whatever we learn, same techniques that we learned before, now we're using it on this on the other side, just for symmetry. So just like we used to this footwork, if we are going on the other side and we're stepping out, now we can do it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 6, 7, 8. So just practice, guys. Learn how to flow. Learn how to hold the stick, the staff. This is a heavy staff. You don't have a lot of room for a lot of fancy spinning and all of that, because your ligaments are not going to be able to support it. This is very, very heavy. So we got to use more combat applicable for this, specifically for this type of a weapon. Stay tuned for our next lessons on the staff series, where we're going to be exploring all these concepts more in depth. And then as the series progresses, we're going to be talking also about the long grip staff technique. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and we'll see you soon. Take care.